and welcome. I'm Terry Lyston, President of Dynamic Workforce Solutions, and I'm your host for this episode of Dynamic Words, a series brought to you by Dynamic Works Institute. We've all been inspired by countless dynamic individuals we've encountered. Dynamic Word is our way of bringing these incredible voices to the forefront. This podcast is more than just a series, it's a platform for thought leaders, change makers, and innovators to share a little bit about themselves, their career path, and their leadership style. And I'm thrilled that you've decided to join us today. I'm also excited to introduce Natalie Woodbridge, Head of Marketing Groups for APM. Her journey is a testament to the power of her word, storytelling. That's today's dynamic word, and I can't wait for Natalie to share with you her insights and experiences. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and motivated as we uncover the power of words in leadership and life. So let's dive in. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Terry. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you on this call today, and I appreciate you being part of this podcast. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your career. Just set the stage for us if you don't mind.
Sure. So I started my career in journalism, working for a luxury goods and lifestyle magazine. In that role, I developed skills in writing, editing, content creation. That early experience in sort of storytelling and communication naturally led me to the world of marketing and public relations, where I've spent a good part of over a decade specializing in digital marketing, strategic comms, and brand development. Currently, I'm the head of marketing group at APM, a global human services provider, where I work primarily on marketing initiatives across multiple brands and countries that really aim to connect people with employment, health, and community services to help them achieve their goals in life.
So exciting. It's purpose-driven marketing, right?
Absolutely.
Can you just talk a little bit about the different countries and the footprint of APM a little bit for those that don't know who APM is on the larger scale?
So, yeah, APM is a global country. We're in currently 11 countries around the world. USA, Canada, Australia, you might be able to tell from the accent. Asia, England, Europe. We're a big purpose-driven organization, having incredible impact through the programs that we deliver around the world. It's quite a special place to work.
Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you for doing that. So I'm very curious, when I interview leaders, they talk about a word that is purposeful to them. I'm super curious if you could define for us your dynamic word in your own words, really.
Sure. So I think storytelling is probably one of the most powerful tools that we have. It's about more than just words. Storytelling really shapes how we connect, learn, and influence the world around us. So we all use storytelling every day. Whether we're explaining who we are in a job interview, maybe we're pitching ideas, trying to persuade others to see, our point of view. You might be communicating a vision to inspire your team, or just sharing experiences with your family and friends. So stories bring ideas to life, and I think the best ones don't just inform; they really engage and motivate action.
I love that. It's like the birthplace of innovation, right? Telling stories and getting ideas going. So when you look back on your career, tell me a time, if you can pinpoint a time when you really did rely on storytelling to be a key element of your character and of the way that you kind of have come this far in your career path.
So I think my career has kind of always really focused on storytelling in marketing, helping brands, craft those compelling narratives, whether that's through social media, digital advertising campaigns, a website experience. I have seen firsthand how powerful personal stories can be in capturing attention and making an impact. So, in marketing, content that tells a real, relatable story consistently outperforms generic messaging. Um, video storytelling in particular has seen massive growth. If you look at social media platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, your engagement stats really skyrocket when you've got short form story driven content. Even what we're doing here today, creating this video podcast episode, it's storytelling in action. We're discussing ideas, sparking conversation, and connecting with our audiences in a way that is hopefully engaging. Whether it's a brand, or just a person, storytelling, I think, is what makes messages memorable and meaningful, to our everyday.
I love that. In our business, and people that are aspiring leaders who subscribe to this podcast, I hear from them and they talk to me about the little nuggets they can pick up to add to their own personal toolkit. We talk about the why a lot, and the why is really your own personal story. So I think that's amazing. Tell me a little bit about why would a leader, an aspiring leader watching this, consider storytelling as part of their toolkit when they work with their teams?
So as a team leader myself, I use storytelling. And you might not think you're storytelling, but you really are. So it might, if I'm explaining a strategy, to the team, or to your peers, or to your senior leadership, if you're advocating for resources, whether that's more team members or budget, or even just mentoring someone else in their career, sharing a compelling story when you're in any of these situations is what makes ideas stick. And we can use that to help people see the bigger picture, and really understand what it is that we're trying to achieve, or the impact of our work, or the request.
I love that. Evangelizing this work comes very easy. And sometimes we get stuck in the details and the data and the reporting. And I think there's not a person that came to their job, including yourself, who was like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading the back end of this website. What's the motivation here, and why do we do what we do? And I think that's such a great reminder for those that want to tell the story.
Yeah, people don't always remember facts, but they remember a feeling. So that's where storytelling can really help you be, more persuasive, more influential, and have greater impact, in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve.
I love that. Well, thanks for tuning in to our episode of Dynamic Words. It's been an absolute pleasure to explore the impact of stories shared with the word storytelling with Natalie Woodbridge. Thanks, Natalie, for your time and insight today. And as we wrap up this conversation, we hope you leave feeling inspired and empowered by the power of our dynamic word. If you enjoyed our episode, share it with your friends and colleagues who might be also interested in being inspired. And don't forget to subscribe to this series for more compelling discussions and meeting some of our outstanding leaders. Until next time, keep embracing the power of words. And this is Terry Leiston with Dynamic Workforce Solutions signing off and telling you to stay dynamic and stay inspired.